Welcome everyone to part 5 of Intro to Design CAD. This is Matrix 3.4, Matrix Gold that I am using, and this series is a series to introduce you to CAD design software. There are a lot of crossovers between the different design softwares, and this one in particular is very involved. And so I wanted to do a series that would introduce you to it in case you have just purchased Matrix Gold and you're not sure where to start. The best thing you can do is go through the program and get familiar with it. So get your laptops out, and today we are going to talk about the commands that are underneath the viewports. We're going to be talking about grid snaps and O snaps, and those two are going to be our main topic of discussion today. There's actually quite a bit involved in some of these, so I want to really take my time so that you can understand, especially with O snaps, how to use them. There are some things that are very practical. To be quite honest, I don't even know what auto hide is, so sorry I cannot tell you, but I do know what grid snaps are, and I use them every day. Grid snaps, and you can do 0.1, 0.25, 0.5, and 1. So grid snaps will let you move things very systematically. Like, for example, I'm going to put a curve back up here because, see, my grid snaps are on right now, so I can put it in this intersection of the grid. I can move it down, and it won't let me go between that. So because it's on 0.5 right now, it moves in 0.5 increments. See that? Now, if I were to click 1, it only goes 1 increment. It will not let me go between there, no matter how hard I try. And then if you did 0.1, it's hard to see it, but it literally is clicking at 0.1. And so there is some practical uses. For example, if you wanted it to click and have a slight angle, and you knew where you wanted it to go, and it was on the grid intersection, that's when you could put grid snaps on. Or if you want to move it, so let's say we want to move it, but we want it to be exactly on a grid line. I use it for that a lot. O snaps. Let's come down here again, and I want to share with you about O snaps. I'm going to turn grid snaps off, and let's say this gets lost under here, which has happened to me. If you just, let's see, if you just click on grid snaps, the word, it will undo it. O snaps. O snaps are extremely important and useful. All right, I'm going to turn this into shaded so we can take a better look at it. So let's use our handy dandy line again. And if you can see this, I don't know if you can see the pop-up, but as I'm clicking around, it is attaching itself to the solid in very particular places. So right now it is snapping on the sphere, and it says, the little pop-up says end. So it's very handy if you want something to be exact. So let's do another one. So one of the things that this says is I can go all the way around here, and if you'll notice, it's following the inside of that surface. And here it's on end, and here it's on end. So it's kind of right in that, what I call a seam of that cylinder. Now over here, if I click on it, it says near, and anywhere I go, it says near. That just means that it's near the edge, which that could be anywhere. It's not very exact, but sometimes you use that. So O-snaps, the little toggles right directly below the viewport are right here, and you can click it on and off. So end is automatically clicked on, near is automatically clicked on. Actually, I would probably just click near off. Point. So the ones that are really, really, really important to have on are end and mid. The other ones I usually click on if I need them. Near, point. So let's see here. Yeah, I've used that before. So near and point, mid, center. Center can be really, really practical in certain circumstances, not used very often. Intersection, I use intersection all the time. So let me show you an example of how I would use that. So here are two curves, and here's the intersection of the curve. And so let's go back to our quick commands over here on the left side, and there was that one command called split. So let's go ahead and click that, and down below it says select objects to split. I want to split this curve, and I want to split it with a point. So I want to split it right where that curve intersects it, but it won't click on there. So I need to come down here, and I need to toggle that on where it says INT, which is an abbreviation for intersection, and it goes right to it. There you go, and you left click. There you go. And I am going to use another thing that we learned about today, and I am going to highlight this, select that curve that got split, and turn it a different color by clicking. Oops, that didn't work out very well because that color was turned off. I need to find a color that's turned on. There we go. So I don't know how well you can see this, but I have split this curve here into two parts, and I split it with a point, and I used intersection so that it would snap to it with my O snaps on. I'm going to pull this away so that you can see that, and it's a different color. So one of the things about O snaps, it does take a little while to get used to it, but let's say I want to move this line down to the end, but I want it to go exactly end to end, right? So what I want to do is I want to select that, and I'm going to go up here to our quick commands, and I'm going to select move. I want to click onto that, and it does say end, and I'm going to zoom out and then zoom back in, and I want to make sure that end is on there. It is. So look at that, end. Click to that and left click. If you're in the middle of a command and you're clicking all over the place and you can't seem to make it work, there are some commands that end with escape. There are some commands that end with a right click, and there's some commands that end with a left click. I've just been doing it so long that I kind of know which one to do, but there are still times where I accidentally do the wrong one because why can't there just be one way to end a command? But, you know, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get a little more experience with our quick commands. Let's take the same line. We are going to select that, and we are going to go back up here to duplicate. I am going to take my cursor, and this time I'm going to go to the mid. So mid is clicked on, so mid, and I'm going to click on that, move it to where I want it, and wait. Can you see that? Like I'm over here, and when I get really close, it like just attaches. Whoops. There you go. All right. It looks like a football goalpost almost. All right, let's see. What else can we do? O-snaps, there's a lot to it. It's a very practical thing. Let's take this curve and we are gonna duplicate it, and I'm going to click on the end, and then I'm going to turn my quad O-snaps on. I can go on the end, I can go on that end, I can go in the middle. I'm looking for a quad. I'm not sure why that won't work, but we're going to escape, and I'm going to bring a circle in because this is where I actually use quad all the time. All right, let's do this again. Let's move this shorter line. I'm going to come over here to my quick commands and click move, and I am going to click on the end of this curve, and there we go. So we have quad, we have another quad. Let's move another one. Let's do it again. We're going to move it to mid, quad, quad. Okay. What if we wanted to move it to the center of the line? So let's go ahead and press move. I'm going to pick it up on this end, and I'm going to come down here below my viewport, and I am going to toggle on center O-snaps. Now this can get a little bit tricky. I have my cursor towards the outside, I don't know if you can see that, of the circle, but there's a little pop-up that says center, and it also wants to snap there. So there it is in the center of the circle. So there are times when that can be very practical. All right. I am going to use some of these other O-snaps as we go through the program and get familiar with it. But for now, I think we have gone over quite a few things, quite a few valuable basics for your 3D design. So I hope you are getting a lot out of this, and I hope that your struggles are fewer than mine when I started. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and you're welcome.